So we're going to go ahead and get started here, but you can everybody just type in where they're from, where they're coming in from in the chat box. We would definitely appreciate that. I'm actually coming to you guys from Miami right now, but I really want to thank you guys for your time. I know time is a precious and valuable commodity, and I appreciate you spending yours with us here tonight. So like Brooklyn said, we have a lot of amazing information to share with you guys tonight. But before I really get into that, I think it's important that you guys know a little bit about me and who I am and just kind of who's talking to you. So like she said, my name is Paul Scott. I'm 24 years old. I was actually born and raised in Philadelphia. And my entire life, my parents had always told me the plan to life is to go to high school, study hard, get good grades so you can get into this amazing college. And then you study hard, get good grades in college, get a degree. And that degree is going to get you an amazing job that'll take care of you for the rest of your life. So, you know, I followed the plan. I went to high school. It was never really a question for me on whether or not I was going to college, but it was more, what am I going to study when I get there? So it didn't take me very long to find the answer to that question. In elementary school, I actually went through this program called DARE, where a police officer comes into our elementary schools and middle schools, and he taught us about drugs and, you know, how terrible they were and the effects that it could have in your life. And it wasn't necessarily the drug education that changed my life. It was more so the police officer that was running the program, Officer Matheny, because he didn't just kind of go through the motions and just kind of do it because he had to. He really had a passion for what he was doing, and he went above and beyond to make sure that each and every single one of us knew that if you ever had a problem, or if you needed a mentor, you just needed somebody to talk to, you know, no matter what was going on in your life, you could always go talk to Officer Matheny. And not only that was he there for, you know, us kids, but he was also very active in the community. I mean, he always visited all types of churches and, you know, community events and doing all types of, you know, charities and putting stuff together all the time. It was very hard to find a person in our community who didn't know Officer Matheny. So not only was he the face of the police department to us kids, but he was also the face of the police department to the entire community. And that's really what I admired, you know, what I fell in love with, because he was affecting people and changing lives every single day. You know, one of my favorite speakers, his name is Les Brown. And there's a quote from Les. He says that service to others is the price that we pay for the time that we take up on this earth. And I absolutely fell in love with that. I wanted to spend my life in service to others. I wanted to be able to find ways to give back and help other people. And so Officer Matheny really changed my idea of what law enforcement really was. And so that's what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be a law enforcement officer. So I studied criminal justice. And it wasn't until after I graduated college that I realized degree does not equal job. Okay. I went to college, like I said, degree doesn't equal job. When I was applying to a bunch of different police departments, each and every one of them had the same exact story every single time. Thank you so much for your application. So the next part, there's a written test, a physical test, a polygraph. You got to meet with our chief, meet with the psychologist. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, the process of becoming a police officer takes over a year. And it wasn't, obviously, you know, I had college loan debt coming up. I had apartment bills I had to pay. There was a lot of stuff I had in the meantime. So I was like, wow, this whole police officer thing could take a year or more. It could take several years. So obviously I needed to do something in the meantime. So I found a job at a factory. And this factory was actually an hour away from my house. So every single day, I literally woke up at 4 a.m., then got ready for work, left my house by 5:30, then drove to work. Got there around 6:30, then I worked from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then had another hour drive back home. So I got home around 8:30ish. And after this long 15-hour day, I did that about 5 days a week. So I was absolutely miserable and I really hated my life at the time. You know, I realized, I said, there had to be something more. You know, I started searching and looking for something different. And it wasn't until I read this book written by the man that you see here on the screen, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. The book was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in this book, he talks about the cash flow quadrant. And basically what the cash flow quadrant is, if you make money in any way, shape, or form, okay, in this world, you fit into one of these quadrants, okay? And so we look at these quadrants. The first one on the top left is employee. Okay, that's what I was doing working at this factory. We all know what employees are. Right? We get hired by somebody, they tell us when to come into work, when we can go home, when we can go to the bathroom, how much we're gonna make, and when we're gonna get a raise. right? We don't have much control as an employee, but even more importantly, as employees, we're trading our time for money, okay? And then you have the self-employed people down here. Okay, so as a self-employed person, obviously you take a little bit more control of your time, right? You get to determine what price you're going to charge for your services, when you're going to come into work. So you got a little bit more leeway. You know, these are like your doctors, your lawyers, maybe even barbers, hairstylists. Okay, those are some self-employed people. But still, even as a self-employed person, well, yes, as a doctor, I'm choosing my own hours, right? If I don't feel like coming in, I can shut things down, shut down the office for the day. But at the same time, if I don't show up for the surgery, then I'm not making any money, right? But even more importantly, on this left side of the quadrant, there's always a cap on your income, right? As an employee, the cap is determined by your boss. As a self-employed person, even though I control my schedule a little bit, if I'm the best barber in Philadelphia charging $1,000 per haircut, guess what? I can only make so much money because I can't cut 10,000 people's heads in a single day, right? There's just not enough time. So what this book talked about was how to uncap your income. And so over here we have business owners. These are people that leverage systems. So for example, if I own a McDonald's, right, I'm no longer trading my time for money. I hire managers, I hire crew members, I hire maintenance workers. I never have to actually go into this store, but yet I'll make money every single day, week, every single month, regardless of how I spend my time. I'm leveraging other people's time in order to make me money. And that's where business owners are so important. But here's where the book put a lot of emphasis, okay, down here in this investor quadrant. Okay, as an investor, you actually have your money working for you and making money. And one thing that this book talked about was the fact that being an investor is such a powerful quadrant to be in, because guess what? Your money doesn't get tired. It can literally work for you 24 hours a day. But even more importantly, your money doesn't get stuck in traffic. Your money doesn't show up late to work or have to call out because the kids got sick. Okay, money can work for you all day, every day, no excuses. So it is literally the best employee you could ever have. And again, it's a way for you to have completely uncapped income because there's no limitations on how much money that your money can make you. So I realized very quickly the investor quadrant was the one I needed to be in. So I started to look for certain things. And obviously the first thing that came into my mind when I thought of investing were stocks and real estate, except I didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to go buy properties. And I really didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy hundreds and hundreds of shares in the stock market. So I started doing some research. I started looking for other opportunities that were a lot more affordable for me to be able to invest. And I found something incredible. I found Forex. Okay, this is actually the largest financial market in the world. Okay, the stock market does about $120 million per day in sales. Well, guess what? The foreign currency exchange market does 5.3 trillion every single day. 5 days a week. This market is literally like 10 or 20 times bigger than the stock market. So if this is literally the largest financial market in the entire world, why does everybody know about stocks and nobody knows about Forex? Well, it's a great question. The reason is because this industry is completely dominated by banks and the top 1%. Okay, they've been using this investment vehicle for hundreds and hundreds of years. And up until about 20 years ago, when technology really opened this up for the average individual like you and I, up until that time, you needed at least $100,000 minimum to be able to participate in this market. So that explains why only wealthy people and banks knew about it. So this is one investment tool that they have been using for hundreds and hundreds of years to make them more and more money. Okay, that's where the saying comes, the rich get richer. Okay, but really, how does this market work? How does this industry work? Where does the money come from? So let me explain it to you guys. Let's say me, you, and Brooklyn all went on vacation to Mexico. Okay, we all know that once we get into Mexico, they don't accept the US dollar. So in order for us to spend money and go shopping and do things in Mexico, we obviously have to change our US dollars into pesos. So let's say we all take $1,000 a piece, right? We exchange our dollars into pesos. We stay in Mexico for a week. Now, what you guys don't know is I have a good friend who owns a hotel in Mexico. So guess what? He's letting me, you, and Brooklyn all stay in his hotel completely for free. there's continental breakfast, there's all-you-can-eat lunch and dinners. They got a pool, basketball courts. All right, we are just living it up like kings and queens for an entire week in Mexico, and we don't have to spend a dime, okay? Everything is completely paid for, right? So when we come back to the US a week later, we still have that $1,000 in our pocket. But what, of course, you all know that currency exchange rates are always moving, right? Depending on news and how countries' economies are doing, okay, those numbers are always up and down. So that $1,000 is no longer going to be $1,000, right? It can be more or it can be less. So it can be $800 instead of $1,000, or it can be $1,200. And if it's $1,200, we would have just profited $200 for doing what? All we did was go to Mexico, have a good time with our friends, and just hang out for a week. And that's where the money in foreign currency exchange market is made, being able to read charts and kind of predict what's going to happen in these markets. And as the market moves, you're making that money. So what is Silverstarlive? Okay, how does this Forex industry work? How do we make money reading these charts and things of that nature? Well, like I said, it's being able to learn the skill of reading the charts and being able to predict. But what our company actually does, we have a hands-free, almost hands-free, okay? There's a little bit of maintenance, but a virtually hands-free service where we allow people to really dive into these markets and really take full advantage, okay? And this is a company that is operating worldwide. I know me, myself, I've got teams in over 8 different countries. Okay, so we are growing daily and, like I said, operating all over the world. But one thing that's super, super important is that we were founded in 2016, meaning that we've been really spending these last couple of years just working on and tweaking and working out the kinks on our software, really perfecting it so that we've got things down to a T right now. We are operating at full capacity and really picking up speed. So we're old enough that we really worked out all the bugs and all the kinks, but yet we're new enough that nobody really knows about us, okay? This is like Mark Zuckerberg sitting you down in his Harvard dorm room saying, hey guys, I've got this incredible thing called Facebook. Okay, one thing I learned very early on in entrepreneurship, one of my first mentors, he said, Paul, the way you make a lot of money in entrepreneurship is that you get ahead of a trend before it becomes popular. And like I said, that's exactly the opportunity that you guys have here today with Silverstarlive. So that's why the timing is so important. Okay, and then one of the final things about this company, you know, we are completely debt-free and privately owned. Okay, our software is 100% owned and created by us. Okay, nobody else has their hands in the cookie jar. We're not working to please different investors. Okay, it is 100% our company, and we're really just working to make sure that we provide the best services for our customers. We don't have shareholders that are worried about the bottom line, okay? So that kind of brings me to, who are the people really pulling the strings? You know, who makes the determination on what's gonna happen in this company? Well, we have our executive vice president, Mr. Hassan Mahmood. He's the one from corporate, really putting boots on the ground, traveling the world, introducing people to what we have here today, and really that corporate representation here on the ground. And then we have our president, Ms. Candace Ross. She is the backbone to our company. She's the one that makes all the tough decisions. Okay, and as a leader in this company, when Candace calls you, you already know somebody messed up somewhere. Okay, you do not want to get that call from Candace. All right, she is the boss. She is the boss lady when it comes to what we're doing here. But then we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Quicksilver, our chief operating officer, and the creator of the software. Okay, Mr. Quicksilver is the brains behind the software. He's a 22-year ex-hedge fund trader who created this algorithmic artificial intelligence. And before I even get into his trading strategy, just a little bit more background on Mr. Quicksilver. Okay, he is the 93rd smartest person in the entire world. Okay, documented 93rd smartest person in the entire world. There are only 92 people on the planet that are smarter than this man. Okay, he's got 182 IQ score. So if you're anything like me and have no idea what that means, I know it sounds high, but you know, how much is that really? Let me just put it into perspective for you guys. Okay, Albert Einstein, we all know how smart he was. Well, Albert Einstein had 160 IQ. Okay, Quicksilver has 182. So obviously this man is very intelligent, and whatever he puts his mind to, he will be very, very successful at. Okay, so he put his mind into foreign currency exchange trading, created an amazing strategy that allowed him to be extremely profitable in the markets, and then he was hired by a hedge fund. Now, for those of you that don't know how hedge funds work, okay, big companies and corporations and even very wealthy individuals give these hedge fund traders hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Then the hedge fund trader takes it, puts it into the market, makes some trades, turns those hundreds of millions into billions, or those couple 100,000 into millions. And then the company, the hedge fund, gives the person that gave them the money, they give them back about 20%, and the rest of that money is split between the hedge fund and the individual and the trader, the person that made that money. So Quicksilver did this for years and years, but he kind of realized after making a very, very large amount of money, he realized that he wasn't really making a difference. Okay, people that can put hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars into a hedge fund are not really the people who need this money. He realized that he was just making the rich richer. Okay, he wanted to plug into something, he wanted to create something that he could give back to the everyday person, the average individual, the people who really need something in their lives to be able to change their situation. And that's why I really became a part of this company. You know, that's really what I fell in love with, because I meshed so well with Quicksilver, and our message and our vision just meshed so well together. You know, we both had a passion for helping people and just wanting to change the world, and that's what really sold me on this company and this opportunity. So again, like I said, we have an artificial intelligence, you know, Forex software. It's algorithmic artificial intelligence. It is a state-of-the-art software built to read trends in the market and kind of think as it goes and make smarter trades and plug into smarter decisions and kind of adjust as news is happening. So Benjamin is an incredible, incredible software. But let me be very, very clear. We are not like a hedge fund, okay? We're not a Charles Schwab or Edward Jones or a Robin Hood or an Acorn, anything like that. You're not giving us your money to trade on your behalf and give you back a percentage. You are 100% in control of your own account. So you go out and find your own broker, you know, your own Forex broker. And for those of you that don't know anything about Forex, don't worry, okay? Legally, we can't make any recommendations. However, I can share with you the brokers that I use, and multiple people in the company can tell you the brokers that they're using. You can go ahead and make your own decision. So you choose your own broker. You give the broker your money, and then you license our software, and our software hooks up with your brokerage account and tells the broker what trades to place, and those trades profit consistently and continue to make you money so that they grow your account. So we have absolutely no access to your money. We don't know what's in your account unless you tell us, and what gets pulled out of your account and what gets put in and when you want to withdraw. All of those decisions are completely up to you. There's no, hey, give us your money and hold it for 6 months. Everything is completely within your control, okay? Now let me get into our services. You know, I'm a big fan of documentation over conversation. Obviously, with me being involved, you know, I'm going to tell you that we got the greatest software out there, and that this software is doing incredible things, and thousands of customers are profiting from what we're doing. And I can tell you that stuff all day. But like I said, documentation beats conversation 100% of the time. So I want to show you some live accounts. I want to pull up some customer accounts where customers have given us their information and approved for me to be able to share this with you guys, and just kind of show you how our software works and some of the things that our customers have been seeing. Okay, so this is one of our customers here. Let me just pull this up. So her name is Abby, and she started with our software back in October, and I really just want to show you her live account and some of the results that she's been seeing with our incredible software. So give me a minute here while I pull this up. Sorry, internet's being a little bit slow here. All right, while we wait for Abby's account, let's try another one. All right, so here's one. This is Andreas. So as you can see with Andreas, he started in November 6th. November 6th, he put $100 into his account. Then on the 14th, after seeing the software work for a little bit, got a little bit more confidence, put in $1,000. And then on the 23rd of November, he put in another $2,000. So as you can see, made multiple different investments into the software. So you can always add money and take money out as you please. Now, here's one thing I definitely want to point out. Okay, with our software, the market in Forex goes either up or down. Okay, you got a 50-50 shot of being right. Okay, and anybody can get on a hot streak, right? People make money in Vegas all the time. Okay, winning is never a problem in Forex because anybody can get lucky. But what really sets apart the professionals from the amateurs in this industry is how you handle the losses, because there aren't many guarantees in life other than death and taxes, right? But one thing that you can guarantee in Forex, you're going to place a trade that's not going to win. You're going to have a loss. So how you handle those losses is what sets apart the professionals from the amateurs and the people who truly profit in this industry. So let's take a look at how our software handles these losses. So as you can see here, we have a Great British Pound US dollar trade that went south on us. Okay, we lost $33 here. Now with this trade, what's so amazing about our software and how it protects your capital is that, like I said, it's artificial intelligence. The software was smart enough to realize, hey, the trade is not going our way, so I'm going to place another trade at cost average so we can kind of make back some of that money, make back some of that ground. So what it did, it placed another Great British US pound trade here. So even though we lost $33, you see we made another $33. So every single time the software is either profiting and you win the trade and you make money, or you place a trade that doesn't go your direction, it places a hedge or a cost average, and you just break even. So that is how our software is protecting your money. And then you see a couple more wins here. And then we got another loss finally. Again, the Great British Pound US dollar. So we lost $78 here. And then you see another Great British Pound US dollar trade. So we lost 78, we made 83. So we even made a couple dollars on this bad trade. So it either breaks even or you make a couple dollars. So that is how our incredible software is working to protect your money. So as you see, the account started in November, so it's only been about 2 months here. Now, in these 2 months from his $3,100 investment, he made about $2,286, as you can see right here. So that is an incredible return for just 2 months. I mean, if you show me a bank where I can put in $3,100 into a savings account and get $2,200 back, I would be a member tomorrow. Okay, I would be ecstatic. All right, but over here we actually have obviously the broker needs to take their cut, right? They take a portion of those profits. So he actually netted about $1,700 from his investment, but that's still an incredible return, up over 50% in just 2 months. If you ask any investor, that is an incredible rate of return. So he's up over 50% in just 2 months. So his total account size is about $4,800 at this point. And that's kind of how our software works. And again, with Benjamin, you can really adjust your risk settings. All right, and then we have Abby's account. So again, with Benjamin, you can really adjust your risk settings to either be conservative, or if you're like Abby, right, her motto is bigger risk, bigger reward. Okay, she realized that, yes, I can take a loss here, but I realized that if this thing works and these trades work out well, I can stand to make a lot of money. So Abby had no problem turning up the risk settings of her software and really taking everything that Benjamin could give her. So you see here, she started her account on the 25th of October. She put in about $1,400. The first trade was placed on the 7th of November, okay? Again, a bunch of winning trades, win, win, win. Finally, we have a loss with the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen pair. She lost $39. And then you see the very next trade, she made 43. So another example of that cost averaging. So obviously you guys can see the software works. All right, but let's see how in these 2 months Abby's account did with these more aggressive risk settings. So you see from her $1,400 investment, she made $3,672 in the same 2 months as Andreas, which is absolutely incredible. Okay, even bigger profits. So she's way more than doubled her account in just these 2 months. And obviously after the broker fees, she still netted about $2,800. I mean, That's insane to get these type of returns. So it just kind of goes to show you what is possible with Benjamin. But that's the thing that I love so much about this software. The fact that if you want to be aggressive or you want to be more conservative, how much you make is completely up to you. Now, on average, on conservative settings, okay, we've never seen a customer have a losing week or a losing month with Benjamin. I have yet to see a customer lose with conservative settings. All right, now if you're like Abby, obviously you can take some losses, but on average, our customers are getting anywhere between like 8 to 10%. But obviously 10% is not the ceiling, okay? In those same 2 months, you saw Andreas's account was up over about 50%. So you saw he made about 20% per month. So 10% is not the ceiling, but like I said, on average, that's about the rate of return that customers are seeing. Okay, so that's a little bit about our software. So let me go ahead and get back to, there we go, presentation here. All right, so that's our services. So for those of you who see this and say, wow, this software sounds absolutely incredible, okay, but what I really am interested in, I want to learn how to trade, okay? I want to know what the software is doing and how it's able to create these profits. You know, me and my partners, Dante and Michael, we were all a big proponent of give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, feed him for a lifetime. This software is incredible and you can make these essentially hands-free profits, but knowing the skill is what's really going to change your life. So for those people who really want to learn Forex and learn the basics and up to the most advanced techniques, what we've done is we created our Impact4X Academy, where we have a private education platform that we offer 100% for free to the people that are a part of our team. So we're giving you everything from the basics to the super advanced techniques, and we've even gone out and hired 6- and 7-figure traders to hop on live sessions with us and break down charts and explain how they view the market and the certain things that they look for, and really give you guys everything in their arsenal that they're using to create these insane profits. So we've given you the opportunity to be able to learn this incredible skill of Forex. So to answer your next question, how do you become a customer? Okay, with this incredible value, I mean, I've seen training courses where you can spend up to like $5,000 on just like a 3-day course on learning how to trade from a very, you know, profitable 6- or 7-figure trader. So I've seen people drop thousands and thousands of dollars on education alone. And then as far as softwares, you know, none of them I've never seen another artificial intelligence. I've seen different bots and different EAs and all different types of, you know, softwares, but never artificial intelligence. And some of these other softwares can cost anywhere from like $3,000 to about $5,000. Okay, and on top of that $5,000, you're paying another $350 to like $500 every single month. So the value that we're providing here is about a $10,000 value with a monthly fee of about $350 to like $500. Now, again, my goal and Mr. Quicksilver's goal was to make this affordable for the average individual. Okay, we realize that people do not have, the average person doesn't have, you know, $5,000, $10,000 to drop into this. So we offer you these incredible services for only $199 down. Okay, all it costs is $199, covers your first month of service. You get complete access to the software, and then just specifically for being a part of our Impact4X team, you also get free access to our education. And then there's a monthly fee of about $145 every single month. And then there's also a virtual computer. It's called a VPS. Basically, it's a computer in the cloud, and that's what the software runs off of. And it allows your software to run 24 hours a day without your computer having to be on 24 hours a day. So the VPS runs from anywhere from like $25 to about $30, depending on the service that you want to use. So those are all the fees. So very, very affordable, you know, pretty cheap. But one thing I thought of, you know, who wants to add another bill to their life? Who wants to add another monthly fee? So one thing that the company kind of came up with and brainstormed on, they realized, hey, instead of putting out advertisements on YouTube and, you know, commercials and all types of billboards and things that people ignore and really don't care about, why don't we go and pay out individuals to be able to share this with their friends, right? Companies like Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, they all do the same type of thing where they give you a code. You know, I used to drive for Lyft. They gave me a code, and any of my friends that I introduced this to and they became drivers, I got a $100 commission, and then I got a percentage of their first like 100 rides. Well, our company's done the same thing. You share this with 3 friends. All it takes is 3 people utilizing the software that they've been introduced through you, and you get complete free access to this software. So you're no longer paying a monthly fee. But for those of you a little bit scared of risk, don't worry, okay, because there is a 7-day money back guarantee. So you get to try out this software and play with it and kind of see how it works. You can even start it on a demo account, so you don't have to put any money into your trading account. You can start it on a demo, see how it works, and if you like the results, then you can go ahead like Abby and Andreas and so many other thousands of customers and go ahead and invest into your trading account and start to see these results with your real money and see your account grow bigger and bigger. Now, if you're anything like me, anything like Brooklyn, you said, wow, this sounds absolutely incredible. You know, 3 people is absolutely nothing, so I can get my software for free. But you know what? I know thousands and thousands of people who need something like this in their lives. So what if I share it with more than 3 people? You know, what if I share this with like thousands of people? What happens then? And that's an amazing question. And what happens, the company gives you the opportunity to become an independent business owner. Remember that cash flow quadrant? You got the business owner portion. That is the quadrant that you'd be stepping into here. So for a monthly fee of about $15, you separate yourself from just a customer of the software into an independent business owner, meaning that you get all types of tax deductions and write-offs and all types of benefits that come with owning a business. So the company gives you the opportunity to make all types of compensations for sharing this opportunity and sharing this software with people. So there's tons and tons of ways of making money on top of just the software trading for you, okay? For every person that you introduce to the software, that they get it from you, you get a one-time $40 commission. Okay, so $40 for every single person that you introduce the software to. After you introduce your first 3 people, after that 4th person, on that 4th person, you get this $40 commission. Okay, again, you got your 3 and free. So once you get your first 3 people, you hit a rank called Icon 150, where you're making $150 a month, and obviously that covers your subscription. Now, as you go ahead and continue to share this and your team grows bigger and bigger and bigger, all you need is 12 people. And once you introduce this to 12 people, you're making $150 every single week. Okay, just like your residual bills, you know, that cable bill and cell phone bill that you get every single month that's residual. Well, guess what? You're now creating a residual income for yourself. Every single week, you'll get that $150 as long as your organization stays at least 12 customers. So you're making about $600 a month at this level here. Then you have Icon 1500. Once your organization grows to at least 35 people, you're making $375 minimum every single week just through this one payout method. So that's $1,500 every single month. And obviously, as your team grows bigger and bigger, you know, once you get to 90 people, you're making $750, $3,000 a month. Okay, $3,000 every single month, and this is called Icon 3000, and that's the rank that I'm at currently. So it's an incredible thing. And then we also have, we also have this matrix payout. So one thing that the matrix does, it basically pays you out $3 for every single person in your network, because the company wants to continue to reward you for growing your team and continuing to share this opportunity with tons and tons of people. So for those of you that have questions about the compensation plan, definitely get back with the person who introduced you to this webinar, and they can go into a little bit more detail for you. But you have all types of ways of making money with this company, okay? You got your one-time first order bonus of $40. You have your residual weekly payouts here with these residual ranks, and then you have a one-time a month payout where you get $3 for every single person in your organization, regardless of where they fall in your structure. So you got 3 ways there of making payment, of earning money. Then you also make money from the software trading for you and putting your money in the Forex markets. And then you also make money through your own trades and learning the skill of Forex, you know, here with our Impact4X team. So there are tons and tons of ways for you to be profitable with this company. So I highly encourage you guys to get back with the person who put you onto this webinar and get any questions that you have answered with the software. You know, get back with that person. They can get you a link and get you started with our team today, get you started on our software. And for any of you guys sitting there thinking, you know what, this thing is too good to be true. You know, if I had heard this about 8 years ago, that's the first thing that would have popped into my mind, is that there's no way that people are making these types of profits and making this type of money almost hands-free with very minimal interaction. Okay, there's just no way. One thing I learned very early on in entrepreneurship, you know, one of my first mentors, when he heard this mindset, because one thing my parents had always taught me, they said, Paul, if something sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. And so I went through my life with that mindset. But once I got into this space of entrepreneurship, my first mentor, he said, Paul, if every opportunity is too good to be true, then how are you ever going to find a true opportunity? Wow. I mean, that just absolutely blew my mind, because it really made me think. It made me realize that what sets apart the super wealthy from the average individual who's, you know, working a job, which absolutely nothing wrong with working a job, but the person who's really struggling in life, living check to check and just begging for something to get out of their current situation, what sets that person apart from the millionaire is that both people have the same opportunities. I mean, we are the most socially connected generation in all of history. I mean, just about anything you want to know about in the world, the answers can be found online. There are plenty and plenty of resources for you to be able to research and find out about different wealths of knowledge. But the difference is your mindset. See, the average person will see an opportunity, like, again, Mark Zuckerberg sitting in that Harvard dorm room. You'll see an opportunity and they'll say, nah, no way this works. It's too good to be true. And that wealthy person, that millionaire, is going to see that same opportunity. They'll say, well, does it make sense? Yes. You know what? Do I see where it can benefit me in my life? Absolutely. Do I see how it can be profitable? Well, yeah. Then there's nothing left to talk about. They take full advantage of that opportunity. And yes, it doesn't always work out, but for those ventures that do work out, guess what? That's where they made their millions and billions of dollars. Because on every opportunity that average people pass over, okay, wealthy individuals take full advantage. Okay, so I highly encourage you, you know, to not remain poor. And I don't mean poor as in what's in your bank account. I mean, don't remain poor as in a person who is passing over opportunity repeatedly. Okay, do not stick with your poor mindset. Okay, see opportunity and realize that we're offering you the chance to become a part of this company and utilize our softwares and take full advantage completely risk-free, because we have a 100% money back guarantee. You have up to 1 week to really try our services, immerse yourself in our company and our culture and see what's going on. And if you don't like it, you have a full week to get 100% money back refund. All right, so what I wanted to do right now before I close out the call, I'm going to open this up. So you guys feel free to type into the chat box with your questions or unmute your mic. Okay, go ahead and hop in here and ask any questions that you would like. I would love to answer any questions you guys have and just make sure that everybody is clear on what we have going on here today. So again, feel free to unmute yourselves. I'll give it a couple seconds and people can ask some questions. Anybody feel free. All right, I just want to make sure we're not in a ghost town here. Harold, any questions? Come on, Harold, I know you got something cooking in that brain. What you thinking, man? Harold, we got Keisha on here. We got Neo. We got tons and tons of people. Guys, feel free to unmute, ask any questions you would like. Okay, Umesh, what's going on, brother? Nice to have you, man. Anybody at all? If there's no questions, then I'll just close out the call and we can wrap things up right here. Anybody? Going once, twice? All right, well, thank you so much, guys, for your time. I really appreciate your patience and sticking through us and checking out everything that we have going on here at Silverstarlive and with our software and this incredible opportunity. So again, I know time is precious and I appreciate you spending yours with us. Thank you guys so much. Have an incredible day, and I hope to be working with you guys very, very soon.